There's a small group of people on an island in the Pacific who have somehow cracked the code to biological aging. While the rest of the world is seeing a massive spike in chronic inflammation and metabolic disease, these individuals are routinely living past 100. Not just surviving, but thriving, with clear minds and active bodies. Most people think it's just good genetics, but what if I told you that researchers have identified specific, repeatable biological triggers that you can activate right now, regardless of your DNA? Here's what most people don't realize: longevity isn't just about what you eat, it's about how you signal your cells to repair themselves. Today, we're breaking down the science of the Japanese longevity secrets through the lens of modern biochemistry. In the West, we are told to eat 3 square meals a day plus snacks. But in Japan, particularly in Okinawa, there's a Confucian teaching called Hara Hachi Bu, eating until you are only 80% full. A landmark study from Washington University found that long-term calorie restriction in humans leads to a significant decrease in biological aging markers. When you stop eating before you are stuffed, you prevent a massive spike in insulin like growth factor 1, IGF-1. More importantly, it triggers a process called autophagy. This is your body's internal recycling program. Think of it like a cellular janitor that goes around identifying broken proteins and damaged mitochondria, breaking them down and turning them into energy. If you constantly eat to 100% fullness, your cellular janitor never clocks in. Over time, those broken parts accumulate in your cells. This leads to cellular senescence, often called zombie cells, which drive systemic inflammation and accelerate the visible signs of aging. You've probably heard that carbs are the enemy, yet the Japanese diet is rich in rice and sweet potatoes. Why aren't they dealing with the same rates of type 2 diabetes seen in the US and Europe? Researchers at Stanford have been looking into the gut microbiome of centenarians and discovered a significantly higher diversity of beneficial bacteria compared to the average adult. It comes down to resistant starch. The Japanese often eat their rice after it has cooled down or consume purple sweet potatoes. When starch is cooked and then cooled, it undergoes retrogradation, turning into a prebiotic fiber. Instead of being absorbed in the small intestine and spiking your blood sugar, it travels to the colon. Because it isn't absorbed immediately, it doesn't trigger a massive insulin spike. Instead, it feeds your gut bacteria, which produce butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that repairs the gut lining and shuts down brain inflammation. By changing the structure of the carb, they've turned a metabolic burden into a metabolic medicine. Most Western diets are completely devoid of seaweeds like nori, wakame, and kombu. For the Japanese, these are daily staples. A study published in the journal Nature highlighted that Japanese populations have a unique gut microbe called Bacteroides plebeius, specifically evolved to break down seaweed. Seaweeds are packed with F-eucoidin and iodine. From a science perspective, these compounds act as a form of hormesis. Hormesis is beneficial stress. In small doses, the compounds in seaweed trigger the NRF2 pathway, your body's master antioxidant switch. It tells your cells to produce more of their own internal antioxidants, like glutathione. While most people try to take antioxidant supplements, which are often poorly absorbed, the Japanese diet forces the body to create its own. This leads to superior DNA repair and a thyroid that stays metabolically active even into the 90s. The Japanese consume about 100 grams of fish per day, compared to the average American who might have it once a week. The Harvard School of Public Health found that higher blood levels of omega-3 fatty acids can increase life expectancy by an average of 2.2 years. It's about the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. The Western diet is overloaded with seed oils, omega-6, which make the blood sticky and pro-inflammatory. The high intake of EPA and DHA from fatty fish keeps the cell membranes fluid and the blood viscous. It literally changes the electrical signaling of the heart. This is why Japan has one of the lowest rates of cardiovascular disease in the world. By maintaining a high omega-3 index, they prevent the calcification of arteries and keep the brain, which is 60% fat, from shrinking as they age. We often focus on the physical, but the science of the mind-body connection is where the Japanese truly excel. They call it Ikigai, your reason for being. Researchers discovered that individuals with a strong sense of purpose have lower levels of interleukin 6, a key marker of systemic inflammation. When you lack purpose, your body exists in a state of low-grade fight or flight. This keeps cortisol chronically elevated. High cortisol is a catabolic hormone. It breaks down muscle, thins the skin, and suppresses the immune system. Ikigai acts as a neurological buffer, shifting the nervous system from the sympathetic stress to the parasympathetic recovery branch. Without this psychological shield, even the best diet won't save you. Chronic stress will eventually override your nutrition, leading to inflammation, the accelerated breakdown of tissues caused by a stressed out immune system. If there is one superfood that explains Japanese bone and heart health, it's natto, fermented soybeans. A study from the Journal of Nutrition showed that the high intake of vitamin K2 in eastern Japan was directly correlated with significantly lower rates of hip fractures. Natto is the highest natural source of vitamin K2, MK7. Think of vitamin K2 as a traffic cop for calcium. Without it, calcium wanders aimlessly and ends up in your arteries, causing plaque, or your joints, causing stiffness. K2 activates a protein called osteocalcin, which pulls that calcium out of the blood and locks it into the bone matrix. By consuming K2 regularly, the Japanese managed to avoid the two biggest killers of the elderly: brittle bones and hardened arteries. They are essentially decalcifying their cardiovascular system while reinforcing their skeleton simultaneously. Longevity isn't a mystery, it's a biological result of the signals we send our bodies. By mimicking the Japanese approach, triggering autophagy, feeding the microbiome, and prioritizing vitamin K2, you're essentially giving your cells the blueprint they need to stay young. Here's the challenge for you. Start with the 80% rule. Tomorrow, stop eating before you feel full. Give your cellular janitor a chance to work. Your future self will thank you. Look, longevity isn't about a magic pill or a single superfood. It's about the small biological signals you send to your cells every single day. The Japanese have been doing this for centuries, and now science finally understands why it works. If you found this breakdown valuable, there are two things you can do right now to take control of your biological clock. Starting with your very next meal, try the 80% rule. Stop eating before you feel full. Give your body that window for autophagy to kick in. Just try it for one day and notice the difference in your energy levels. If you're tired of the generic health advice and want more deep dives into the science of how your body actually works, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. We're decoding the secrets of the world's healthiest populations every week, and I don't want you to miss the next breakthrough. And if you're wondering how to take this to the next level, specifically how to fix your metabolism while you sleep, you'll want to watch this video right here, where I break down the science of nighttime fat burning and deep cell repair. Stay curious, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.